This is another one of my very casual Battle for Zendikar decks. I've been adding some cards from a common uncommon playset of Avacyn Restored, and also some Origins cards. But this particular deck is completely Battle for Zendikar. It's a Grixis. Everything is colorless, very casual. It plays well. Again, as I mentioned in another video that I've just made, these decks in just for fun online, I'm playing it also online, get totally slaughtered. But if you're playing kitchen table, this thing is a lot of fun. Forerunner of Slaughter is really, really great. Of course, it's got the limitation that you have to play both red and black, but this one cost is really nice because if you drop it and you drop something else and you have 2 mana available, you can make both cards gain haste. Very, very useful. I've done that a lot. The other card that I really, really like in this deck, I only have one right now, but if I pull a couple more, I may modify it. Online, I'm pulling a complete playset. It's Molten Nursery. I'm sorry, because it hits for one every time you cast a colorless spell. Well, if you've got 36 colorless spells, which is what this deck has, every single time you drop something, you're hitting for one. Of course, I'm sure the card can even be abused further by playing with tricks of having cards come back to your hand and then play them again. I haven't done that. Like say Norin the Wary, even though that card is not colorless. But if you have something that was colorless that keeps going in and out, this thing would really help you hit your opponent. Again, and so Salvage Drone is your one-drop ingester. When it dies, you may draw a card, then discard a card. That turns out to be useful. Every standard has usually one of these cards, so you discard in blue usually. I think there's one in Avacyn Restored. The name escapes me. I was just looking at it today. Then I'm playing a playset of Slush Crawler. Very beautiful artwork. I really love the way this card was designed. Again, another ingester. For 2, you can pump it for a +1/+1. That can be very useful. A very useful card, in my opinion. And I think it can only get better in the future, in my opinion, if there's ways to pump it. I could even see it being used in a Devotion to Black deck, although I haven't gone there with it. Again, another Forerunner and a third. Then Kozilek Sentinel, which turns out to be mostly to be a wall because it's 1/4, but you can pump it for +1 if you play a colorless, and you're always going to be doing that in this deck. Culling Drone I have in this deck just because it's another colorless card. I think if more of these critters are printed in Oath of the Gatewatch, I can see this guy going out. It's pretty clean. It's a 2/2/2 and it ingests. You can't go wrong. Of course, one of my favorite creatures, Benthic Infiltrator. Love Unblockable. You know, it's unblockable. That's really, really good. And it's a guaranteed ingester unless somebody forces you to sacrifice it. That's very, very useful. I have 2 of them. Nettle Drone in this deck is really fun. Again, the online version that I've been playing has 4 Nettle Drones and 4 Molten Nurseries. So I really go to town on this combo. Really go to town on it. And again, this card is great. At first, I thought I didn't get it, but now I get it. How useful and powerful it can be. Hitting your opponent for 1 here, 1 there can really add up for you to win your game. Of course, unless they're gaining a ton of life, in which case you better have something else to play with. Dominator Drone, another one that I have just because it's in the set. Really aren't that many colorless creatures right now that I can play, especially if I want to play it in standard. It's an ingester, hits for 2 each opponent. I'm sure it's a good card in multiplayer. Vestige of Enrakul, Devoid Trample, bit of a wall. It's all right. Silent Skimmer can be exploited better later, some other way. Right now, it's okay. You hit for nothing, even if it doesn't have an equipment, and your opponent loses 2 life. Usually, it's going to be good when your opponent has no flyers, so it's not going to get blocked. If it does, you're kind of wasting your time. It's a 0/4. That's good. I don't know. We'll see what happens to this card in the future. It could be one of the many forgotten cards of Battle for Zendikar. Then Ulamog's Nullifier is really your big, it's not really big, but it's your 4-drop flyer, and it's got flash. And when you flash it, you can also use it as a counter spell. Okay, but you already have to have ingested 2 cards, or your opponent be playing Delph or something. This card's all right. I got 2 of them, one in one of my old sleeves that don't look that good in videos. Then I've got a Mind Raker. Again, an interesting card. I love the artwork. Not that great, but you know it's good in this very casual deck. So you can make your opponent discard a card. Of course, each opponent. That's very nice with multiplayer. Anyways, so I'm gonna put in the headliner again back on top as I discuss the non-creatures. Oh, and I forgot this one, of course. So I have also an incubator drone. It drops a token. That's nice. Then I have one transgressed. Oh wait, my multi-focus went crazy. My autofocus went crazy. Every now and then it does that. Transgress the Mind, which is really the it's kind of like the Inquisition of Kozilek for this set. Of course, it's a very ramped down set, so it's a 2-drop, not a 1-drop, and it's for converted cost, mana cost 3 or greater. So it doesn't really slow your momentum, the momentum of your opponent, like Inquisition does. But of course, in a standard where everybody's playing 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 drops that they're gonna drop on you later on, it doesn't hurt if they got unlucky and they drew it in their early hand for you to take it out. Processor Assault, it's a 2 for 5. That's really good. But you also have to have ingested something before, and it is not an instant. It's a sorcery, because sorcery is a new instant, as people have been saying. Complete Disregard. I wish it had been a 2-drop, but it is a 3-drop. It's a very slow standard set, Battle for Zendikar. And I like this card within the set of cards that it plays right now. So I've got a whole playset of that card. Okay. Then Grave Birthing. So you have to have your opponent have something in their graveyard to exile, and then you drop a token because of it, and there you have it. So, and also you draw a card, which I really like. Any time that I see a card that says draw a card, I like it. But it's a 3-drop. Again, everything is overcosted in this set a lot. Then here's your typical battle trick for limited. You drop it, but it's a sorcery. See, here it goes again. It'd be a nice battle trick if you gave +2/+0 and first strike for your colorless. But again, it's a sorcery, so it's kind of okay. It's definitely just okay. Titan's Presence. You have to reveal a colorless creature card. That's a limitation. And you have to, in the card you exile with it, it's a creature, and also its power has to be less than or equal to the reveal card. If you're stuck with a fatty, this would be a great card to play one of these 8-drop Eldrazi or something. Grip of Desolation. Again, another card that is okay, but it's a 6-drop. It's an instant. That's nice. It's a 2 for 1. You exile a creature and you exile a target land. Exiling is never going to get old. It's pretty good. But for 6, wow. Again, this is a very slow deck. It's a fun deck. You're going to play it with your friends. You're not going to play it in a competitive environment. And if you do, you're going to have a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it.